Hi, my name is Mark Olives, and today I'd like to introduce you to diabetes. Currently, in the United States, diabetes represents 12 to 15% of the population. In just Riverside and San Bernardino County alone, it's estimated that roughly 50% of the population is either diabetic or pre-diabetic. So this is a growing concern throughout the nation. Interestingly enough, most people don't understand diabetes or don't really know how to control their disorder. So today I'd like to give you a little introduction to diabetes. So fundamentally there's two types of diabetes. There's type 1 diabetes and type 2 diabetes. Type 1 diabetes is a disorder in which your body's simply not producing insulin. This is a more serious disorder, but fortunately it only accounts for about 5% of the population of diabetics. Type 2 diabetes is far more common and represents 95% of the population. And with type 2 diabetes, it's technically defined as cellular resistance to insulin. And what that means is your body's producing insulin, but the cells are not receiving, or they're not receptive to the insulin. Now what insulin is it's a transport vehicle that helps to take the blood sugar out of the bloodstream and into the cells. And I'd like to address blood sugar a little bit right here and say that blood sugar is greatly misunderstood, and a lot of people think of blood sugar as a bad thing. And I think that's because a lot of people have heard and certainly understand that sugar is a bad thing, and therefore blood sugar must be a bad thing. But the fact is, blood sugar is instrumental to life. So blood sugar is the same as gasoline in your car. So if you tried to run your car without gasoline, obviously things aren't going to go well. You're going to run out of gas. If you run out of blood sugar as a human, what happens is, especially as a diabetic, at first you'll go into an unconscious state or a diabetic coma. If that continues, or if your blood sugar continues to drop from there, you would die. All of us would die. So without blood sugar, there's no energy to go into the cells. There's nothing to support energy to make the systems work. So blood sugar is extremely important to life. The problem with diabetics is that you're getting the blood sugar in to the body and into the bloodstream, but now the problem is it can't get out. So insulin is that vehicle that helps to take the blood sugar out of the bloodstream and into the cells where it can be utilized for energy. With blood sugar not being able to get into the cell, what's going to happen is your blood sugars are going to start to rise. As blood sugar starts to rise, then what happens is the blood becomes thick. And if the blood's thick, it's not going to be able to fit through the vessels. Where does your body have blood vessels, and what tissues need blood? All of them. So the problem is now we've got tissues that aren't receiving blood supply. They're not getting oxygen and nutrition, and you're going to get cellular death. This is why diabetes is such a dangerous disorder, because it not only affects just certain tissues, but it affects your whole body. So every tissue is vulnerable. I try and address, or I tell people that you can think of insulin also as kind of like a friend, and you're going to a concert, but your friend has the tickets. So if you go up to the gate and you say, hey, I'd like to get in, but your friend's not with you with the tickets, well, you're not getting in. Sugar is the same way. Sugar might come up to your cells and say, hey, I'd like to get in. And the cells say, no, without your buddy insulin, we're not letting you in here. So that's the problem with being insulin resistant, is you cannot get the sugar into the cells. So what we'd like to do is do something that would help to reverse that process. And exercise is the ultimate solution. Studies show that exercise not only helps to bring sugar into the cells, but it helps reduce your cells' resistance to insulin for a 24-hour period. So that means if you exercise every day, then what you're going to do is have much greater blood sugar control. So the best thing you could possibly do for your diabetes is to exercise. Thank you.